towards building more affordable housing and having places for homeless people to go? Or are we going to try to send them all to jail? Because we already have the largest incarceration population in the world here in the United States of America. We have to work towards making sure that everybody has the basics. A good education, place to live, food to eat, health care. We can do these things. We can make sure that people have jobs that pay a living wage. We can do great things in this country. They have been done before.
It's the 20s. We need to get it right.
Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, back in the last century, back in the 1900s, they had these vagrancy laws. So if you didn't have any money or a job, they could put you in jail just for not having a job or money. And the guy who wrote this song, "This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the let's try that again. This land is your land." This guy who wrote this song, he was put in jail in 1950 for vagrancy because he didn't have a job or any money. They could put him in jail. And vagrancy laws were later determined to be unconstitutional in 1972. And now people are trying to bring back these vagrancy laws under other names, under homelessness, camping, or whatever. They want to make the poor people pay. And that's not the way we're going to find our way out of this homelessness crisis. There's no better person to play songs from on Labor Day than Woody Guthrie. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Everybody, let's sing, here we go. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. That's right, we got to keep working towards making it for all of us. We got to keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. You know, the beginning of this country was put together by a bunch of rich white guys, and they were the only ones who benefited from it. But since the beginning of this country, people have been working to make sure that it is more inclusive, that everybody has an equal voice in our democracy, no matter your race or your religion, your ethnicity, your beliefs, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're housed or unhoused. We all have the same rights in this country, and we need to stand up for those rights.
Sure do.
We need to make sure that everybody gets treated the same in this country. And if you are on this public promenade, I like to remind everybody, this is a public promenade. If you are on this public promenade and you are homeless, you have the same rights as the richest person in the whole wide world. That's right. You tell them. You don't have to bow down to anybody. They're going to lock up these chairs after a little while because they don't want the homeless people to be sitting on them after the tourists leave, after the paying customers leave. They want to make the homeless people more uncomfortable. So they lock up these chairs so that nobody can sit on them at night. Not just so that nobody can steal them. They lock them up so nobody can sit on them, because they don't want homeless people to be comfortable on this public promenade during the night. They've been trying to make things harder on these homeless people for years and decades. And I've been playing my guitar out here on this promenade for the last 9 years, and I've seen the way they've been pushing these poor people down the road, trying to make it harder. And now they want to criminalize. Mayor Brock wants to criminalize homelessness here in Santa Monica. And we have to stand up against such cruelty, such inhumanity. And we need to say, this land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. On the promenade, in the shadow of the steeple, near the relief office, I see a lot of homeless people, and some are grumbling, and some are wondering, is this land made for you and me? Yes, it is. It's made for all of us, and we need to stand up for each other's rights. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. One more time. Everybody sing along. Here we go. I'll slow it down just a little bit. This land is your land. This land is my land.
Why do y'all
from
have to
California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters.
There's a sidewalk.
Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Let's work to make sure this land is made for you and me. Hey! That's right. We got to keep working towards a better day. That's what our Constitution is all about. Working towards a better day for everybody. Working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. The beginning of our Constitution says, we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. See, there were some people at the very beginning who thought it was perfect just the way it was. And other people said, wait a minute, we still got some things we probably better work out. So they said, why don't we make it more perfect? So they said, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States. And that's what we have to go on. We got to keep working towards a better day for everybody. We can't say, well, the rich and the powerful are doing fine, so everything must be okay. The rich are okay, so the stock market is at record highs, so everything must be fine. No. We got to keep working for a better day for everybody. We got to make sure that people don't sleep in the streets. We got to make sure that we have health care for everybody in this country. We have to make sure that everybody can have a good public education. We have to make sure that everybody can eat. And everybody can have a job that pays a living wage. Happy Labor Day. That's what today is about.
It is.
Making sure that everybody can thrive and survive on what they want to do. And I think that people should be able to make art and do art and be able to thrive and survive with that. I'm a member of the Screen Actors Guild, or SAG-AFTRA they call it now.
Okay.
And I sound old. SAG-AFTRA they call it now, and Actors Equity. And I'm old. I get a little pension. But, you know, some of the most enjoyable things I've done performing were free. Were free or next to nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that people should be able to pursue a lot of things, especially with all these jobs going to technological advances like artificial intelligence and robots and such. We're going to have to find a way for people to be able to go after things they want to do without making a lot of money for a big corporation.
Amen.
Because we don't have a problem of not having enough money in this country. Good to see you, Rob. How are you? Peace. We're going to play basketball soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. Happy Labor Day. We're going to keep working towards a better day so that everybody can have the basics. And listen, these aren't new ideas. I'm not talking communism. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, back in 1944, gave a speech called the Second Bill of Rights.
Wow.
That's right. In 1944, Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, "It is time for a second Bill of Rights, where every American has the right to a decent place to live.
Yeah.
Every American has the right to a job that pays a living wage. Every American has the right to health care. And every American has the right to a good education." He gave that speech in 1944, and we still haven't achieved those goals today. And we're trying to blame poor people for being poor and homeless people for being homeless.
Crazy.
What do you think, Coco? Coco, do you have a place to go tonight? Do you have a place to go and sleep tonight while homeless people are sleeping on the streets? Is somebody going to make sure that you have everything you need tonight, Coco?
Who the fuck is
While
Coco?
homeless people are sleeping on the streets and being threatened to be criminalized for their sleeping? What about you, Coco? Are you well taken care of by your corporate owners? All right. What do you think of human rights, Coco? Should everybody have the right to have a decent place to live and a place to sleep at night? Because I know you have some place to go tonight. And that's the kind of world we're living in right now, that you have a place to go and sleep well while we have homeless people sleeping on the streets. So talk to your owners about this, Coco. Tell them we need to raise their taxes until homeless people have a decent place to live, till homeless people have a decent place to sleep. Peace. I hope you see that little box on wheels. We have those all over Santa Monica.
Wow.
You know,
I never seen no shit like that before.
And when I told Mayor Brock the other night in the Santa Monica City Council meeting, when I said, "Mayor Brock, you need to be voted out because you don't believe in human rights."
Yeah.
And he said, I take exception with that. I have to think about our business interests
Wow.
and our residents. See, he doesn't even think of these homeless people living on his streets for years as his residents. He thinks of them as somebody coming in, some interloper, some people coming in from somewhere else, some aliens of some sort. These are your people, just like the richest people in your community, Mayor Brock. Just because somebody has a lot of money and buys a big mansion and they come from another place, and you say they are your residents, but these homeless people sleeping on your streets for years are not your residents? I don't think so. That's not the way it works in this country of the United States of America. We all have a right, and we have to make sure that we bring about 5% of our population here in the United States out of the shadows. We've got about 5% of our population living in the shadows that have been used for their labor for generations and haven't been given their rights. We all have to have the same rights and live by the same rules. And Mayor Brock, you need to be responsible for your poor people and your homeless people just as much as the wealthiest people in Santa Monica.